Did you know that the insurance company actually has a time limit for when they are to settle your claim? They actually have a limited number of days, depending on the state that you live in, that they have to investigate and ultimately pay your claim. And today, we're going to go over that on the Commercial Claims Show in 3, 2, 1. What's up, advocates? Welcome back to another episode of the Commercial Claims Show. I'm your host, Vince Perry, the commercial claims advocate and owner and CEO of Elite Resolutions, a public adjusting firm. Listen up, advocates. Whether you're a public adjuster, contractor, or an attorney, if you have a client that has suffered any kind of catastrophic loss, whether that be by fire or storm or just any catastrophic loss that requires your client to have to move out and incur ALE and loss of use coverage, you need to think about looking at Black Diamond Services. This is an incredible idea for a service that I think is extremely valuable, and I've actually personally used for my clients myself. Basically, what they do is they provide all of the necessary money that is needed to be done for the homeowner to go and move to another place, whether that be a hotel or another home or whatever it is. They basically bill through their insurance policy's loss of use coverage, and basically they provide financial assistance so that the insured never has to incur any out-of-pocket expenses. It's an amazing service. I love the people at Black Diamond Services, especially Millie Varela. If you just contact her and contact Black Diamond Services, I'm telling you, they're going to take care of your clients like you wouldn't believe. I personally have a client who suffered a fire damage and had to use their ALE coverage, and all we did was refer them to Black Diamond. Our clients did not have to come out of pocket a single penny. Black Diamond provided all of the financial money, and they provided the actual location for the homeowner to stay. Amazing service. Contact Black Diamond Services today so you could find out more information for yourself. And today I'm going to talk about time limits. Now, I'm talking to public adjusters, and I'm also talking to policyholders as well. What you guys have to remember is that the insurance company does not have forever and as long as they want to investigate a claim. No, there is time limits that they have to abide by in order to make sure that they make a coverage decision. These are statutes that have been written by departments of insurance, depending on your state, to try to hold the insurance company accountable to actually making sure that there is an end to the claims process. I know some of you think, well, that doesn't make sense. My claim has been going on for years. My claim has been going on for months. I'm talking about from the initial time the claim is filed. There is a certain amount of time for the claim to just at least a coverage decision has been made. If you have a claim open that's been going on for years, chances are it was denied or severely underpaid, and you may be in the litigation process. Or if it's been going on for several months, it could be a number of things. It could just be maybe you or the public adjuster is still sort of going back and forth on it and they're just really close to settling it. Or maybe, you just didn't know. You as a public adjuster or a policyholder just didn't know that there was an actual time limit and that you could hold them accountable to it. So I'm really going to talk about the ones that I know the best. I've got some other ones. I'm very honest with these things. I want to make sure that these numbers are right. So just excuse me if I'm wrong on some of these numbers. I do know for a fact that in Florida, it's 90 days. And in Texas, it's 15 business days. That I know for a fact. I've got some other ones here in different states. I think before I tell you just some tips and tricks on what you should do throughout the claims process and throughout that sort of time limit that you have, I will tell you that every state is different. Every state has different numbers. So I will tell you that look it up, okay? Look it up in your state. You can just go on, North Carolina time limit for insurance claims. That's sort of what we did anyway, and we got to some of these numbers. But you want to make sure that you do your research on your state to find out what it is. So, for example, Florida, it's 90 days. It's just 90 calendar days that the insurance company has to investigate a claim and to ultimately pay a claim. As I said before, in Texas, it's 15 business days. So it's roughly 30 days that they've got to investigate a claim and ultimately pay the claim. Now, you have to make sure that you keep the insurance company on a time clock. You have got to keep them on a time clock, because if you do not, they will allow the claim to drag out as long as possible. And here's why. A lot of insurance companies will tell you once you get a public adjuster involved, they're just going to delay the claim. Okay? Couldn't be further from the truth. When a public adjuster gets paid, it's when the client or the homeowner gets paid. I do not get paid until you get paid. I've said this a million times. So it is in our best interest as public adjusters to move the claim forward and get the claim settled as soon as possible. Why? Because when we give you a check, you give us a check. And that's when we finally get paid. So it doesn't make any sense for us to drag out a claim. On the other hand, the insurance companies, every month that goes by, you have to remember they are receiving still your monthly premium, right? You're still paying that. You're still paying that insurance policy every single month, or on a 3-month basis, or on a 6-month basis. But constantly there's people buying new insurance all the time, and that's more money for the insurance company. So frankly, the longer that they delay, the more money they are ultimately making on the other side of it, which is when you're paying for your premium. So they really do actually have in their best interest to delay the claim as much as possible. And there's all kinds of tactics that they use, and there's all kinds of stuff in the insurance policy. They almost, I don't like to accuse insurance companies of this, but more often than not, they underpay the claim. Right? They underpay the claims so that they could, if you want to try to fight it, now you're going to have to send documentation, or you're going to have to file an appraisal, you're going to have to file for mediation, or you're going to have to file for a reinspection. And it's all these things that continue to delay the claim. It's almost as if the insurance claims process that was put in by the insurance company was put in there to delay as much as possible. I'm not afraid to say that. It just is what it is, unfortunately. But here's the funny part, is that just because in Florida it's 90 days to get the claim paid, it does not mean they can take all 90 days. Absolutely not. I learned this a long time ago in my career. Once that you have allowed the insurance company to inspect the property, you have provided them with an estimate of repairs, and you have abided by any and all requests to help in their investigation. If they are no longer requesting things that are reasonable for their investigation, they need to make a coverage decision immediately. Let's put yourself in a homeowner's shoes. You're missing a roof. You need to get that claim paid fast. You've got a big tarp on your roof and it's leaking. That claim needs to get paid fast. You've got a bad water damage that's starting to create mold. The claim needs to get paid fast, and there's no delaying in this thing. And don't think that, we're going to have to wait until the 90 days are up. Absolutely not, okay? What I always like to say to the insurance company is, we've allowed you to inspect, we provided you with an estimate, and we provided you with all the documentation that you have requested. Is there anything else that you need, Mr. Insurance Company? No? Well, then I need you to make a coverage decision by the end of the week. That's how we do it. If they don't respond to that, or if they don't make a coverage decision, or if there's no requests after that, well, guess what? I'm sending that email again 7 days later, okay? And then I'll give them one more try after that. But then there's different things that you can do, right? If you're not getting a response from them, one of the things that we do at Elite Resolutions all the time is we file a complaint with the state. You can go on your local Department of Insurance website and you can file a consumer complaint. Now, in some states, that holds more weight than in others. In Florida, it's actually pretty decent, but I know I've heard in states like Texas, it kind of really goes nowhere. But it's the point of filing the complaint that I think is very important, because ultimately, you get enough complaints filed on an insurance company enough times, and usually there tends to be trends with different insurance companies. Well, eventually it's going to raise a red flag, we're hoping, with the Department of Insurance, and hopefully there's some kind of investigation that's done if it becomes a real issue. So I would still recommend, even if you think it holds weight or it doesn't hold weight, whether public adjuster, I would still file it anyway, okay? And then, of course, if there's too much delaying, check to see in your state if there's an attorney fees and cost statute, which means that if you do file a lawsuit with an attorney, that the attorney fees are paid for by the insurance company after settling it, then I would go ahead and file a lawsuit if it's taking too long. Okay? But it's more important to make the insurance company aware that you are aware of the time limit. It's sometimes just as simple as that. So if you're in month 2 and still no settlement has occurred, you have to send a letter and say, we provided you with all this documentation. We've allowed you to inspect. Is there anything else you need? We've already delayed this claim 2 months. And also, never forget to craft your story. And by story, I mean, please do not forget that this roof is missing. There is a tarp up on the roof. There's a severe leak. There is further damage that is being caused because of your delay in paying this claim. We have somebody in the house that is very sick now as a result of the mold that is growing in this house. Whatever it is, put that in your letter and tell them, I'd like to remind you that you have 90 days to complete this claim, but by no means should it take you that long to do it. We have provided you with everything already. And frankly, if there are no more requests to help in your investigation, we must have this claim settled by the end of the week. Just sometimes when you put it in writing and you make the insurance company aware that you are aware of this time limit, will go a long way. So some of the other ones that we were looking up was North Carolina. It says it's 30 days. California is 85 days. New York is 35 business days. Kentucky is 45 days. Oklahoma 75 days. Illinois 45 days. If I'm wrong on any of those, please please leave a comment below and let me know, and let's get it right. We will list these in the description below, but it's much, much better. If you're a public adjuster, you have to know this. And if you're a policyholder, just go ahead and look it up. Go ahead on Google and search it. What is the time limit for property damage insurance claim in my state? And you'll probably get the information that you need. But I know for a fact, Florida, 90 days. So, just make sure that you're aware, especially as a public adjuster, what that time limit is, and hold the feet to the fire. Hold that insurance company's feet to the fire to make sure that they are doing what they have to do to properly keep the claim moving forward, and not just put a stop to it and have it denied, or delayed and delayed and delayed for a long time. So that's all I got today, guys. Not a long one. I just really wanted to tell you that whatever state that you live in, there is a time limit. Well, most states. I think in Louisiana, it's a reasonable amount of time, and I think the same goes for Georgia. But I think some of those laws are changing pretty soon. But either way, look it up in your state. Find out what the limit is, and make sure that you get it, that you hold their feet to the fire, and you make sure that they're aware, that you are aware that there is a time limit. My name is Vince Perry. I am the Commercial Claims Advocate. My company is Elite Resolutions. If you want more tips and tricks on the policyholder side, go on EliteResolutions.com, and you'll find some what I call elite claims advice for policyholders that could really help you throughout the claims process. And if you're a public adjuster and you're interested in some of our courses and this book right here and our industry meetups that we do all over the country, go on CommercialClaimsAdvocate.com, where you can check out a ton of information on all of that stuff. It was a real pleasure coming at you with this information today. I hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned for next week, where we've got more videos to provide value in the insurance claims world. Thank you very much. Have a great day.